you gotta hit me up. Your ad could be right here. But back to the show. What up? It's Shan from She Gets It Pod, and I'm here to break you all off. What's up, y'all? This is She Gets It Podcast. My name is Shan. I'm here to regulate. Before we get into today's show, I would like to make a shout out to Bayou Bakery for your review on Apple Podcast app. I appreciate it. Nicole from Unpacking the Box Podcast. What's up? Thank you for your review of the show. Shout outs to you. Alicia Bell. Thank you. Tamara Till the Break of Dawn Podcast. What's good? Thank you for that review. Courtney from The Barbie's Way. Y'all check out that podcast. Shout outs to you. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for your reviews of the show. I appreciate it. I love going on there. It's kind of like Christmas every time I go through there. I don't do it often, but when I do, I like to recognize those who recognize me in the show. So, speaking of the show, today's show is about a man with a motherfucking plan, okay? All right. There's been a lot of roundabout shows on this topic, and rightfully so. I think women want to have healthy relationships. Well, most of us do. A lot of women just want drama. We want a man we can be proud of and who is very proud of us, who will respect us in our absence, also in our presence. And we want to feel protected as much as we want to be protected, right? And our hearts, bodies, and mind, we want to feel like we're making a smart decision and allowing you to be in our space, be in our lives, and be in this relationship where we're laying it all on the table, okay? A man who can respect himself as much as he can respect us is key. And in this episode, I'm going to do the breakdown of the difference between a man with a plan in a relationship versus a woman being with a man who she's trying to make him have a plan, because there's a difference. So thank you guys for coming to the show. Shit's about to get real, okay? So put in your headphones if you're at work, all right? I know a lot of y'all listen to the show on y'all laptops, which I appreciate, and I know y'all at the office or y'all doing other things, and I appreciate it, but it's about to be a good one. It's about to be a real one. It's about to be very reflective, and I'm not man bashing. I'm just really trying to allow all males to understand there is a difference between a man that talks about doing all the great shit and a man that is active within doing all the great shit. That's it. Oh, you still here? Okay. Yeah, I think we the women want a man to lead us only if he has the tools to do so. Like, you can't tell me, pack up your whole house and come move in here with me because I want you here. No. What are we going to do once I get there? Do you have the means to support me until I find my way around your town or the place that you live? Do you have the means to support a family that you want to make because you shooting me up? You shooting a club up. Do you have the means to support a family, a household, a relationship until we start balancing it all? Or is it just the mind of your dick is in the way? The fact that you want a woman that you're in a relationship to live with you is blocking the fact that you're not in a position to take that on. And I think a lot of people, men and women, want relationships, but they're not mentally ready. They're not physically ready, and they're not emotionally ready to share the responsibility of taking on another person or children. All right. But the shit sounds cute. And talking is too easy to do for a man or a woman. But I feel like a lot of men like to sell themselves when they meet you. Hey, my name is such and such. What do you do? We should go out on a date. I can take you here. I drive this car. Don't worry about it. Price is not an issue. Blah, 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 blah. And it's really like... what else? What else? Because there's always going to be a man out here trying to sell themselves to me if we ever were supposed to get in a relationship that might have more than you. So there has to be something else about you that's more interesting than what you have, right? And doing and showing up in the way that the woman that you choose needs is very important. So you can talk about all these great things that you want to do, but if you're not actively doing them, it means nothing. If you're constantly talking about what you used to have, but you don't actually have these great things anymore, what are you currently doing to top the things that you used to do, right? We have to be progressive about the ways that we boast ourselves, right? If you're going to big up yourself in the current state, right? You can't call yourself a doctor if you ain't finished going through school, right? You're working up to become a doctor. You're actively in school. You're doing your residency and things, but you're not an actual doctor yet. You're not an actual surgeon yet, right? So there's steps that you need to take in order to become the man that you want to be. And I think women do want the man with the plan, not the man that has the plan written down. Okay? The man with the plan is actively doing the things to go ahead and execute the plan that he says he has, right? A lifestyle that is obtainable and is currently making moves in is what women want. And I feel like women, when it comes to submissiveness and being submissive, will submit to a man who is actively showing her steps in being the man that he says he's going to be. Men who are self-motivated and know what time it is deserve everything. You know? The man that is doing the steps to bring him closer to the outcome that he wants is what women want. There's a difference between a girl, a girlfriend, and a woman. Okay? There are things that women want that girlfriends really don't care about yet because they're not in the mind state to care about that. They're still worried about going on trips with their friends and getting their nails done and him buying her a bag. Women are focused on building a future with a man that has weight, that involves investing, that involves long-term, ooh, this is comfy here, things, okay? Does this man's goals fit into your life? Does your life goals fit into this man's life? I think that is very important. That is a man with a plan. All right? Is this man's goals realistically appropriate with the kind of lifestyle that he's living? Right? You can't tell me that you working at a restaurant as a busboy and you have goals and a plan of owning a yacht next year and not having to work for anybody if you're not actively doing anything outside of busting tables at this restaurant. Okay? And this is another thing that I don't think women look at because they be so blinded by the dick. They be so blinded by the things, the facial hair, the fact that his hairline lines up and his beard connects. They be blinded, right? Have you seen this man actively living his life and in his lifestyle? Can this man commit to himself before he can commit to you? All right? And you can only peep that if you watch a man over a period of time. You have to give yourself time. Right? You have to give yourself to step back and see how this man works. What does he do with his day? Does he wake up, midday? Does he do something unproductive? Does he spend too much time bullshitting? By the time it is close to the end of the day, what is he doing? Is he doing something active? Does he make enough money to be sleeping this long? Okay, all of those things you would see. And if he doesn't, but he claims he has all these other goals, then he is not committing to himself. You do not need him to lie to you to say that he can be in a committed relationship when he can't even be in a committed relationship with himself. Because as a mother, I know this. I cannot take care of my children if I'm not taking care of myself. I cannot commit to my children to follow through if I cannot follow through with myself. So therefore, I cannot want a man who cannot follow through for himself, with himself, to follow through and commit to me. It doesn't make sense. And there are too many women out here not being honest about blocking that out. Because it's always apparent. It's always evident. And it's also important for women to understand how a man that they are with likes to be motivated. Some men like to be motivated spiritually. Some men like to be motivated emotionally. Some men are very religious and they want a woman that is also going to be by them in church and pray with them and spiritually motivate them. The girl got merch. I got you on sweatshirts. I got you on long sleeve tops. I got you on hoodies. I got you on masks if you pro mask out here, okay? I even got you on, bags, you know what I'm saying? On the sign that you need to hide your stash in. Fanny Pack World, I got y'all too. Check out She Gets It Shop on Teespring, okay? I got y'all with the merch, all right? Now back to this show. Do you hear this? Do you hear this silence? Yes, this is a space where your ad could be played about your product, where your ad could be played about your business, about your show, because I believe we can all be great on different shows and platforms. So if you're looking for ad space right now, your ad could be playing here instead of me talking and instead of this silence. So next time when I do an episode and you want to promote your show, your business, or your services, hit me up at shegetsit.pod@gmail.com. Now back to my show. Don't say I never gave y'all anything. I'm giving you this space to be great. And they want them to show examples about how they would lead as a wife if they were in a wife role. But it is very important that women who are just in relationships with men who are not married, not to fall into the trap of being a single man's wife. All right. That's a whole nother episode that we are not doing today, but that is also a whole nother shit show. All right. It is important for women to understand, how does he measure his progress and check in and refocus himself? Because I don't know about you, but I do know about myself. I do not like making a man know what time it is. I do not like constantly having to put a man on track of what he needs to do, because I stop feeling like your partner and I start to feel like your mother, and I don't want to feel like that, because automatically I lose a sense of respect for you because I had to come tell you more than once what time it was or what you needed to do, or let me remind you for the 5th time that we need to get this thing done and it's closer to the deadline. I'm going to automatically start doing it myself without asking you or without going back and forth with you about getting it done. Because as an adult, you don't need anybody to tell you when your home insurance is due, when your car note is due, when the water is due, when the electric bill is due, when your rent's due, when your phone bill's due. You just do those things because you're an adult. And if that man is still struggling in that in his 30s and his 40s and his 50s, hello, I don't care if you don't believe in Jesus, but we better come to Jesus. We better have a come to Jesus moment. There's certain things that you have to understand that I do not have a toleration for X, Y, and Z, And if you feel like you have to be a person that has to be constantly reminded, because I've been in relationships with men that have to be constantly reminded to do things that they said they were going to do, I am over this. Okay? Because no woman that has value wants to be with a man that she has to constantly keep reminding to do the things that he's supposed to do. All right? You don't. Unless she has a controlling, motherly vendetta that she's completely comfortable with. And I don't have that. Okay? I even like my kids to be very independent. So you can only assume what I want when it comes to a partner that is a man. Okay? All men, all women need to be in a position to know when they need to refocus and when they need to check their own progress. Okay, some people need vision boards. Some people need a planner. Some people need reminders. Some people need an accountability person. But when you're in a relationship and you said you wanted these goals and you said you were going to do this thing and you wanted this lifestyle, there are certain boundaries you have to create for yourself. There are certain budgets that you have to have for yourself. There are certain limits that you have to have for yourself. Nobody should have to come up behind you and push you or remind you to do the things that you say that you want, unless realistically you don't want those things. All right? And this is why it's easier to live a life honestly than it is to live a lie. Because your lie is always going to be evident in your actions. Because keeping up a lie is exhausting. But doing your truth, living your truth, that's what I do, baby. That's what I do. That's who I am. I don't have to rush anywhere because I'm always on time. I know where I'm supposed to be. I don't have to cover up anything because this is what it is. And you also, as a woman, have to know, does this man find value in his journey, or does he complain the whole way through, not appreciating the steps? Because that is also important. Yes. I'm not done. Like, I can't stand somebody that complains about something that they know they're going to have to get through in order to get the outcome. Find love in the process of doing the things that are going to get you the things that you want. Like, I can understand people that work for a company that doesn't appreciate them, that they don't like, that they're tired of going through. Fine. But are you making outside steps to not be at this job and be somewhere better? What's the point of going to a job every day if you're just going to keep complaining about it and it's only going to get worse and it's stressing you and it's not making you happy, but it's just paying your bills this month? You have to come up with a plan. Nobody needs to tell you that you need to come up with a plan. You need to know that you need to come up with a plan because you're the one that's unhappy. But I am not going to force myself to be in a relationship or have a partner that is constantly unhappy about the things that they are doing to themselves. Your job is to be aware of that. And this is why all real grown women want a man with a plan. Because only men with plans know how to do these things. That is all. And I promise you, that man with the plan will have no problem with the women submitting to him and allowing him to lead. I promise. I'm out because clearly I'm on cookie duty. And I'll check y'all guys next time.